Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage here with another Skype interview. If you're watching this in our YouTube channel, and we have lots of other Skype interviews, so check it out. Just this week I interviewed Bill Hart, I interviewed Michelle Town, one of the top 100 loan officers in America, and now I've got another one, Mark Klein. Mark, you've been a longtime friend, brother. It's been awesome watching you grow. For everybody who's on this call, if you could just let them know where you're at, who you are, a little bit about your volume last year, and then we'll get into a big idea.
Sure. Dave, first of all, thanks for having me. You've been a great friend of mine, and I've been a longtime supporter of The Edge, Mortgage Coach, everything you do. You're always cutting edge, and I appreciate everything you do, and I appreciate our friendship. So thanks, Dave. I'm a divisional vice president with Skyline Home Loans. I have my own practice along with I run a division for Skyline. Last year, my team, that's my own practice, did about $100 million in volume. I'm working on actually developing my team a little more and developing my division more, which is more of my goals in developing my practice. As you know, I've been in the business 25 years now. I can't believe I just said that, but it's been 25 years.
It's been a long time.
And as my receptionist reminded me, he wasn't born yet when I got into the business. So there you go. I'm the old guy. With that being said, I'm here to help. My practice has always been built off of working with financial professionals, financial planners, CPAs, other professionals. And I do have a small realtor base that I'm trying to grow at this point, but that's where 80% of my business comes from.
Well, again, it's amazing to think how long we've known each other, and Mark's friendship and relationship back when I founded Mortgage Coach 20 years ago. By the way, it's 20 years this year. You and I were in a mastermind group together. So we've had a lot of good times together, and we've grown up in this business together. So you get business from financial planners and CPAs. Obviously, you've built your practice around that. 80% of your business comes from that channel. I think you and I both believe that every loan officer should have a few CPAs and financial planners as referral partners. Maybe it's not their whole practice, but they should have a few. If you could, one, speak to that, and then let's talk about how Mortgage Coach helps with that goal in mind.
Well, there's a few things. Number one is if you are going to work with that channel, realize they're not going to be like real estate agents that are giving you 1, 2, 3 deals a month. They're going to give you a good CPA or a good financial planner. And you need to, when I say good, meaning somebody who's really involved with their clients that want to refer out and get their team involved. You want to be part of that team. They'll close 4 transactions with us a year. A good one maybe 12 in a good year. In a bad year, 3 or 4, and that's a good one. But the difference is they're trusted advisors. You just get such a much different level of clients. I mean, I was out there, and I've been working with a lot of realtors lately and trying to build some relationships, and the conversations I'm having are so different. And when you work with these financial planners and professionals, it's a business conversation, and they just want to make sure their clients are handled. I mean, one of my best CPAs we used to deliver lunch to, it's tax season. He looked at me and goes, I go, yeah, how do we get more of your company's business? And his comment was, Mark, you get all my business. And I go, well, I know some of the private banks out there are really, blowing things away with rate. They can get things. He goes, Mark, we're all about service. You always deliver. I'm a service guy. But if you get somebody who all they care about is rate, that's a different conversation, a little tougher to control. What we do to solidify a relationship, which is really what you're asking, is how do we present a high trust interview to them? How do we come off as a trusted advisor? And that's where you and Mortgage Coach comes in. A lot of times when I don't have face-to-face meetings with them, and you got to remember when you're dealing with financial planners and professionals, we're doing a lot of refis, we're doing some purchases, but the clients could be anywhere. So it's not like they're in my backyard that want to come into my office and say, hey, I can take them to a high trust interview that's going to take me an hour. Most of these clients they're already kind of sold on us. They're coming in from the financial advisors. And by the way, people are having fun with a dog behind you, so it's kind of amusing.
I know. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
Pet the dog for me, which I love that.
Yeah, I've been petting it. You can't see me.
Yeah. Anyway, back to what I was sorry about that, Dave. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. So, we have to do the high trust interview over the phone or on a webcam or Skype. And again, so what I'll do is, let me refer, for example, I got a call last week. It was a football player for the Rams. And I'm dealing with a realtor, and they're saying they don't know if they want to rent or buy or sell. And she goes, do you have anything you can show me to show them I go, and the guy's making, millions of dollars. I go, and it's a shame to leave that $1 million deduction on the table. I go, let me put together a mortgage coach and show you what he's, to get a house he wants to rent is going to cost $8,000 a month. To get a similar house he can buy, net will cost him probably $5,000 a month because of the tax benefit. Let me show that to him and see if that makes a difference. I'm not sure it will, but we did. So I put together a little sample mortgage coach. I did a little video saying, hey, nice to meet you. Here's what this is for. I just want to show you what a sample would look like today in today's environment, and what the advantages and disadvantages are and all those things. And I put it on a video so they get to see me stuttering, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's just me. And in lieu of meeting them, it's the next best thing I can come up with. Right. Obviously, if I can meet them, that's what you want to do.
Right. So mortgage coach, the total cost analysis, it is part of your value proposition for your partnerships with CPAs and financial planners. How do you describe it to a CPA or financial planner so that they're excited about it? And do you show it to them? Just give us a little feeling for how you integrate that into your value proposition.
Well, when I meet with a new one, I'll say, we'll always give you a complete cost analysis, total cost analysis, and we use a program called the Edge Mortgage Coach to do that. And I'll show them what it is, and then they really don't get it too much, but when we do refer a client and we do send a link out or something with a video, then they get it pretty quick. The light bulbs go on. I go, by the way, we can do real-time changes on this thing. We can run different programs. Because especially when you're dealing with the professional community, you're dealing with a lot of different loans other than a 30-year fix. We might be looking at a 5-1, 7-1, an interest only, a 10-1. And you want to show the advantages and disadvantages of each one. So they get it when they see that. That's kind of when the light bulbs go on, but I'll show it to them up front anyway.
Got it. So it's part of your conversation with the planner. And by the way, everybody, I recommend you show it on a mobile device when you're in the meeting. And remember, everybody, I tell you, it's always about the strategy or the story. So you've got a great story. Hey, how I helped a Ram last week make the decision to own or rent. And I put it on graphs and charts on a mobile device. So you use it at the front, and they really connect the dots once you're giving it to one of their clients. I think you said you're always CCing the planner so they're in the loop on your advice. What kind of feedback do you get from, whether it's a buyer or a refi candidate? What kind of feedback do you get from the borrowers when they get a total cost analysis?
I think I lay the expectation that, hey, we're going to give you great advice, great analysis. The reason why you referred to us is because of who we are. We're experts when it comes to mortgage planning. And we want to make your process hassle-free. And we want to make sure, as I tell all my team, hey, our job is to give advice, and our job is to give options. Our job is not to make the decision for them. So I'll say, here's a bunch of options. Have you thought of this, thought of that? And going through it. So I don't know if I get like a feedback from them other than it's kind of expected when they work with us. Or they say, this is pretty cool. Because that's the service they get when they work with us. So
that's great. Any advice you have to loan officers out there right now? Again, you're talking to the mortgage coach community. When it comes to delivering this advice, is it saving them time? Any feedback you have for the community as we wrap this thing up?
My biggest thing that I'm working on today is from contact to conversion, and I think this is huge. And if you can either get them into the office, do a Skype interview, do something with video, you have to go that route. I used to be, hey, let's just get it out quick, let's get it out fast, let's make it easy on them, let's do all that, right? Today I'm more like, hey, we need to get them in the office, we need to have a high trust conversation, we need to get an interview, and we need to use tools like this to express all those so they realize how important we are to that transaction. Because if they don't realize how important you really are to the transaction and the difference between what us, a good loan officer, does and what maybe some of the big banks do or some people that aren't as detail-oriented or as service-oriented, they don't know the difference. They're just looking at rate. And right. If you want to be a rate guy, well, that's your choice. But if you don't want to be a rate person, I think doing all these things are really important to convert those leads.
All right, mortgage coach community, you heard it from Mark. He's got an incredible practice. How many loans do you think you'll do this year? How many families?
I'll be happy if I do what I did last year. I did about 200 loans my own team, but I'm hoping my division does about 400 to 350 to 400 as I'm trying to grow that, as I'm spending more time growing people around me at this point in my career. So,
well, here's a guy who has done over 1,000 mortgage coach analysis. He's doing 200 plus transactions a year, and he has time to give every family a total cost analysis. So highly recommend, whether you're working with agents, whether you're working with partners, financial advisors, make sure every family is getting that total cost analysis. And make sure that when you meet with a CPA or financial planner, you come with a story and strategy already on your app. What story are you going to tell them? Are you going to talk to them about a move up analysis? What story are you going to tell? What strategy are you going to share? And then use your Mortgage Coach mobile app as the visual prompt to have that conversation. So please share this with your team. You're looking at this right now. You either saw it in Facebook, share it. You saw it in YouTube, easy to share it with your team. Get it out to all the other loan officers. And every single mortgage coach should have at least 3 or 4 CPAs or financial planners that are giving you referrals. It's easy and it's good business. Mark, thank you very much, brother.
Dave, take care, buddy. Anytime, anything I can do for you.
All right. Thanks, man.